Hello everybody, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a push-up workout. I decided to do it at home just because it's a rainy day outside and I don't have time to train later on. Today is a work day for me, so I'll be training first thing in the morning. I'm just going to do push-ups. The goal for today is to do 300 push-ups. I'll be doing it not really as fast as I can, but as fast as I can do it with good quality. I'd say I'll give maybe 80% of my effort. And while I'm doing the push-ups, I'm going to talk to you guys about a training strategy that I've been incorporating. It's something I borrowed from other types of training, specifically from weightlifting. So let's get into it. I got a watch because I like to record how long it takes for me to get my workouts. So I use a stopwatch. I got a pen and paper, just so that I can record my reps. That way I can think about what I'm saying instead of trying to keep track of my reps. So let's get started. The goal is 300 push-ups, and I'll tell you some things while I'm doing it. Start the timer, stopwatch. "25 reps to start." Okay, so over the last couple of months, since I got better from the sepsis, I've been regaining, and I actually managed to regain over 3 kilos, gain about 5.5 pounds. So I'm back to where I was before, and the way I got back to this is by following a system where I have a minimum. When I say minimum, I mean it's a minimum amount of volume that I have to get every workout. I got this idea from Bulgarian weightlifting. Whoever here has done powerlifting before or Olympic weightlifting, in the 1980s, 1990s, the Bulgarian weightlifting team was very, very dominant, and they had a very interesting training methodology. Their method was to hit the same lifts and max out every single day. Now they had this concept of a minimum and they had a concept of a maximum. Maximum would be to do as much as you can, whereas the minimum would be something that you can hit every single day. So I took this concept, which comes from strength training and power training, and I applied it to calisthenics. So in calisthenics, the daily minimum is obviously not a 1 rep max. The daily minimum is a set amount of volume that I have to do. I'm going to do another set of push-ups and I'll continue. That was 20 reps. Yes. So we're talking about a daily amount of volume that you will hit. Now, I don't train every day. I think training 7 days a week is silly. The body does need to recover. You need to rest. Remember, growth happens when you're resting, not necessarily when you're training. When you're training, the job is to break yourself down, and then you have to eat, you have to sleep, you have to recover in order to grow. So the whole concept here of your daily minimum is the minimum amount of volume that you will do in a given workout. So for me, over the last month and a half, the minimum that I set for myself was 200 push-ups and 100 pull-ups. Now with push-ups, it didn't have to be push-ups specifically. it would just be 200 pushes. So it could be dips, it could be push-ups, it could be a combination of two. And remember, this is the minimum. I couldn't do less than this. And then for the pull-ups, 100 minimum. Again, the minimum, I can do more, but I can never do less. And again, when I say pull-ups, I count all variations. I count chin-ups, pull-ups, neutral grips. What I don't count is inverted rows. Those are just very easy. I did do them sometimes, but they were kind of extra. They were a bonus. One more set. Right, we're at 65. So, daily minimum, 200 pushes, 100 pulls. That was for me. My girlfriend Yash, she did the same thing. She used the same system, but her minimum had to be less because she's not as strong as me. Her minimum was 50 pulls and 100 pushes. Now, for somebody who's even stronger, somebody who's a beast, they can do 200 pulls and 400 pushes as the minimum. But the whole idea is that every time you go to the park, every time you train at home, wherever it is that you are training, you must hit this volume marker. That is your minimum. So if you're going to follow this, make sure you choose a volume marker that's realistic for your level. And because if you choose too much, you might not hit it on some days. You got to choose something that you can do on any day. And then you do it, right? And that's your workout. Your workout is hitting your minimum. Some days you come in and you're feeling extra good, you can do more. If you feel like you're not going to be able to hit that minimum for whatever reason, take the day off because your body is not recovered. So this is an auto-regulated system that allows you to listen to your body. If you're feeling good, you do more. If you're feeling average, you hit your minimum. If you're feeling bad, that means you take a day off. So for me, on average, I ended up training between 3 to 5 days a week because sometimes I would just be simply too sore. I would have to take some time off, or I had things going on, like life happens, right? You can't train every day, nor should you want to. I think that's not a good idea anyways. That's basically auto-regulated bodyweight training, borrowing from the Bulgarian weightlifters, getting their idea of training the same movements every day, but having this minimum performance and then exceeding it if you're feeling good. But of course, if you're not feeling good, just take the day off. Rest. Rest is when you grow. Okay, another set. So when you're doing this minimum training, daily minimum, as you noticed, you end up doing a full upper body workout every time. You're training the same muscle groups every single session, and you will progressively get more and more sore. That's how it works. So how do you know when it's time to take a day off? When you're very sore. That's basically what it is. This is a system that allows you to accumulate volume, accumulate fatigue, accumulate training stimulus over back-to-back days, and then at some point your body just says, dude, like, I can't do this anymore. There's no way we're hitting the minimum today. Or if I hit it, I'm going straight to Snap City. So you have to be very careful to listen, and when the body gives you this signal, when you're feeling too sore, maybe your joints and tendons are saying no more, that's when you take a time off. How long should you rest? As long as it takes to not be sore, or at least to be just a little sore before you train again. Usually for me, it would be 2 days off. Sometimes though, if I overdid it, I'll take 3 days off and then jump right back into it. One more set. "105 push-ups done. Getting out of breath a little bit. Oh. Over the last couple of months, I've done some days where I doubled my minimum. So I did 200 pull-ups or 200 pulls and 400 pushes. So double the volume. Of course, I've only done this kind of thing maybe 3 or 4 times over the last 2 months. And it was very difficult. And I had to take days off after that. But here's the thing, how do you progressive overload with calisthenics? You have to do more over time. You have to do things faster over time. You don't have to change leverages, you could still do your basic exercises, but you do need to make it harder. So that's how we make it harder. Faster, more. Less rest, right? So over time, I'd like my minimum to increase. Now, I'm not ready to increase my minimum to 200, 400, because that would be unsustainable. I'd be able to train maybe once or twice a week, and then the rest of the time I'll need to have off. Also, you need to be in a certain mood to destroy yourself that hard. Like, anybody can do it in like 3-4 hours, but I'm saying this has to be done in like 1 hour, maybe 1 hour and 20 minutes. A realistic workout duration for an adult who has a job and responsibilities. So when you are choosing your minimum, not only do you have to be able to complete it all the time, choose a minimum that you can complete in a realistic time. Like, you should be able to complete your minimum in 40 minutes, in 1 hour, without going too hard. Now, if you go full send, balls to the wall, you should be able to get your minimum done in like 30 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. But again, that's unrealistic and unsustainable to go that fast every single session. At least for me, because my motivation sometimes is very high, sometimes it's lower, it all depends. Next set. Ah. 125. There's one more rule that I added into this system of the daily minimum. So the original minimum is both pull and push. But let's say one day you really want to focus on just one of the movement patterns. You just want to focus on pull. And you don't have time, you don't have the energy, you don't want to do push for whatever reason. You have to double your minimum. And then you're allowed to skip the other version. So let's say my minimum is 100 pull-ups. If I do 200 pull-ups, I can skip the push for that day. On the other hand, if I want to focus on push, the minimum is 200. If I'm going to do 400 at least, then I could skip the pull. And that's how I have some variety in my training, so that I'm not doing full upper body every single time. Now, I do like to do full upper body every single time, but once in a while, just to, we can say, confuse the muscles, even though it's kind of nonsense, but just to confuse the body, just to do something different, I'll do one of these shocker workouts where I focus on just one of the movements and just completely destroy it with more volume than I'm used to. Next set. That's 1:45. We're almost halfway there. It's been 13 minutes. If I wasn't recording, this would be going faster, but I wanted to talk to you guys. So yes, most workouts are a full upper body workout. Your minimum set number of pulls, set number of pushes. Ideally, you want to do twice as many pushes as pulls. Some people will say, oh, but what about balance? Shouldn't you pull as much as you push? I personally don't think so, because pulls are a lot more difficult. Doing 200 push-ups is much easier than doing 100 pull-ups. So it's completely fine to do double the pushing compared to the pulling. I'm going more based on the difficulty level and how it feels versus just counting rep for rep. Push-ups, they lift less percentage of your total body weight. It's a much easier exercise. Next set. It's getting a little bit harder. So I'm at 165 in 15 minutes. It's not great, but it is what it is. Saturday morning, I'm busy today. I can't completely kill myself. So we've established what the daily minimum is. It's an amount of reps that you have to get. We also established that sometimes you could change it up by focusing on one, the push or the pull, but then you have to double your minimum in that specific movement. Now I want to talk about how do you go about achieving your minimum. Well, that's completely up to you, and I encourage you to change it up every single workout. One workout you can do sets and reps. So for example, for me, 100 pulls, 10 sets of 10. 200 pushes, 10 sets of 20. Sometimes I'll do 10 sets of 20 on dips only, and I'll just skip push-ups. All we're talking about is the movement pattern. Pull or push. Other times, I'll do pyramids. I'll go up, I'll go down. You know, sometimes I'll do supersets. I'll do 10, 20, 10, 20. Sometimes I'll just hit one until the very end, do my 100 as fast as I can on pulls, then do my 200 as fast as I can on pushes. That's another way. I did make a video where I talk about 5 calisthenics sets. You could check it out. It will tell you some popular ones that I like to do. But the idea here is that you should change it up every time, or most times, you know, because you don't really want your body to get used to the movements or get used to the type of stress, the stimulus that you're giving it. So we keep it from getting used to it by changing up the rep schemes, the set schemes, the rest interval. Even though you're doing the same exercises, you're doing it in a different way every single time. So you're basically going to be constantly sore. It's just a matter of managing how sore you will be. Some soreness is good. Too much soreness means it's time to take days off. And now it's time for me to do another set. That's 185. I'll do another quick set just to get to 200. 200 done, 100 left for today's workout. Boy. Today I have a full day of activities. At 9 a.m. I have to take my girlfriend to a volleyball game where she's playing. She plays volleyball competitively, but as an amateur. Then at noon I start work, and I work from 12 to 8. So my day is very, very busy today. But look, I have 30 minutes to crush some push-ups before it starts. I don't have to drive to the gym. It's just so convenient. There's really no excuse not to train. The only excuse here is not to train too much. You have to be careful to actually allow rest days, because the training itself is very addictive. It's very fun. You feel your muscles fill up. You get to do cardio. If you saw my older videos, I have a pull-up bar on my door, so I can always do pull-ups at home as well. Now, I don't really like to train at home. I prefer to train outside in the sun. I think there's something to be said about training outside in the open air. The reason I really like to train outside is because my job is obviously indoor. I work on the computer, like probably 80% or 70% of everybody who's watching this here. So if I go to the gym, it works like this. I wake up in the morning, I eat breakfast, I drive to the gym, I spend an hour and a half at the gym. It's inside. Then I come home, I have lunch, and then I have work. Work is inside. So I basically spend all day inside. And to me, this is unacceptable. I need to spend at least a couple of hours outside, and there's just a limited amount of time. So my training has to allow me to be outside. It has to allow me to get my vitamin D, my sun, my fresh air. So I train outside. A lot of my friends will say, why don't you train at the gym? It's, it's clean, it's not as hot. I fully agree with all those things, but if I trained at the gym, it would be a sacrifice of my outside time. And to me, the outside time is a lot more valuable than those little niceties, those little comforts that come with going to the gym. And then obviously I'm saving a load of money by not going to the gym too. All right, next set. "22 minutes, 220 reps, 80 reps to go." Before this push-up session, I had a cup of coffee. Didn't want to eat breakfast because then it would have made me feel pretty nauseous to eat it right before doing push-ups. So as soon as I'm done, it'll be a shower, breakfast, and then I start my day. Is there really an excuse not to do this? I'm in my room, next to my bed, have a yoga mat, just because it makes the wrist a little more, just a little bit of cushioning for the wrist instead of going on the hard floor. But really, I'm pretty much getting a full body workout here with these push-ups. Because I'm in a plank, my abs are obviously working. I have to keep my core tight, flex my glutes, my quads, everything is engaged. When you're doing push-ups, the primary movers are your shoulders, your triceps, and your chest. But your back, lats, everything gets worked as stabilizer muscles. So pretty much almost every single muscle in the body gets worked while you're doing push-ups. And of course, your heart gets worked because you have to do lots of reps. Maybe not when you're a beginner, you don't do a lot of reps because you're still weak, but over time, you will get much stronger. And to feel anything, you'll have to be doing sets of 20, sets of 25. What does this give us? Cardio. So not only am I working my muscles, I'm also working my cardio and my heart. In 30 minutes, I'm getting an all-around workout. Something that any busy person can afford, 30 minutes at home. Next set. 240. $250. Oh man. Oh. It's really up to you how hard you make push-ups be. They can be very easy. Sometimes I see these videos where some guys like, I'm gonna do 100 push-ups every day for 30 days and then 0 gains are made. But then you watch the video and they do 100 push-ups throughout the day. They do 10 push-ups every hour for 10 hours. You might get good at doing push-ups, but at no point did you fatigue your muscles. It's completely pointless. You have to fatigue your muscles. We're not here to get good at doing push-ups. I really don't care. I want to be bad at doing push-ups so that the push-ups are harder for me. So when you're doing these kind of exercises, forget grease the groove. You want to train with as little rest as possible and you want to go as close to failure as you can. That way you actually destroy your muscles and they're forced to grow, they're forced to adapt. If you're just doing grease the groove, it's very good for strength. Like if you want to increase your reps, if you want to get better, if you want to do more pull-ups, I've definitely done it before and it works. But at no point was I sore because I was just training my nervous system by doing sub-maximal sets spread out throughout the day. But I'm trying to get muscles. I want aesthetics. So that requires low rest intervals, getting sore, pain. It is what it is, but that's what it takes. 50 more reps. $270. It's amazing how it works. 27 minutes and it's 270. $280. 20 more. Oh, what a great way to start the day. Okay, let's go. $290. One more set of 10 and I got my target and then I can get on with my day. Oh man, my chest, shoulders, triceps are absolutely lit up even though I'm not going that hard. The thing is that I am quite sore. I trained a few days in a row already. And when you are sore, your mind-muscle connection gets much better because you can already feel the muscles. So it feels pretty good to do the same movement or train the same muscles a couple of days in a row. Okay, last set. There you have it, 330 minutes, 11 seconds. It's not a record or anything, it's just a training session. It's not about making records every workout. It's about being consistent and training for years and years. Training in a way that's fun, that keeps you injury free, that's sustainable. That's the whole goal. So just to summarize, today we talked about borrowing from the Bulgarian weightlifters, applying this system of a daily minimum, an amount of volume that you can crush no matter what, and sometimes going above and beyond, hitting a maximum. We talked about the benefits of simple push-ups, talked a little bit about training outside. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much. If anybody has any comments, just leave a comment below, like the video. Thank you very much, and peace out.